Good morning, students. This is experiment number 8. In this experiment, we will check how to configure access control list. So now if you see, this is a topology that we are going to use it for the lab. And here we could see that there is 10 dot network 20, 30, 40 and 50. And now the first step is to configure a routing protocol. So initially before configuring a routing protocol, we could understand by just hovering the mouse over the PC, we could understand that the IP address is not set. So we'll set an IP address for all the computers starting from the 10 dot network. Go to desktop, IP configuration. So 192.168.10.2, 192.168.10.1. Let the gateway be 10.1. So we'll close it. Come to this PC, desktop. Here it say 192.168.10.2, 10.3. And the gateway is 192.168.10.1. So similarly, we'll do the configuration for all the PCs in the local area network. So we'll come here. So that is 30 dot network. So I'll go to the desktop IP configuration 192.168.30.2, 92.168.30.1. So 192.168.30.1, right? And then similarly, we'll come here to PC3 and go and say 192.168.30.3, 192.168.30.1 is the gateway, right? And coming on to the 50 dot network, so I'll go to PC4 desktop and say 192.168.50.2, 192.168.50.1. Similarly, here again, we'll say that this is 192.168.50.3, 192.168.50.1. So the IP configurations of all the computers is done. We'll come to the router and give the IP configuration. So here is the router. So now we'll go to the CLI and we'll say en config T, right? And then we'll go to the interface fast Ethernet 0/0. That's the local gateway for my topology. So int fa 0/0. So I'll say IP address 192.168.10 network. So 10.1. So it is a class C and give a no shut. All right. So it is up. We'll come here to the serial 2/0, which is 20.0. So we'll give int serial 2/0 IP address 192.168.20.1. So we'll have this side as 20.1, 255.0. There is a clock rate. So we'll set the clock rate to 64,000 and give a no shut. So this router configuration, router 1 configuration is done. So we'll go to router 0. There are two interfaces for router 0. So I'll come to CLI, en config T. So int serial 2/0, right? So this interface, this we give it as 20.1. So we'll give 20.2, right? So IP address 192.168.20.2, 255.255.255.0, right? And there is no clock symbol. So simply we'll give no shut, right? And again, interface serial 3/0, right? And there is a clock symbol, and that is a 40 dot network. So we'll give here as in IP address 192.168.40.2, right? And 255.255.255.0, right? And there is a clock symbol. So give a clock rate as 64,000 and give a no shut, right? So that router's configuration. And there is also one more local interface. So int fa 0/1, that is the port number for me. int fa0/0. One second. Config t int fa0/0. Yes, this interface is 0/0, right? So you can use the correct appropriate interface number. Okay, then give IP address. It is 30.network. So 192.168.30.1, 255.255.255.0, and give a no shut. So that interface is up. So router configuration is done. Okay, so we'll go to this router. All right, so that is serial 2/0, right? And serial 2/0. So we'll give config t interface serial 2/0. Already that side we gave 40.2. So this side we will give IP address 192.168.40.1 255.255.255.0 and give a no shut, right? And the local interface FA0/0 IP address 192.168 dot it's a 168.50. So 50.1 255.255.255.0 and give a no shut. So now we could understand from this topology that we have completed assigning the IP addresses to all the interfaces. Now all the interfaces are almost, it is green. Okay. So this is the first step, right? So this is experiment number 8. ACL, access control list configuration. Okay. And step 1 is assign IP to all the entities in the network. And step 2 is configure a routing protocol. Okay. Configure a protocol. So we are going to configure a routing protocol here. All right. And in order to configure a routing protocol, I wish to choose RIP because that is very simple. So it is enough that you give only the directly connected network. So let me come to router 1. So here I wish to exit, come to config tab and say router RIP, right? And the RIP is activated and give the directly connected network 192.168.10.0 and similarly network 192.168.20.0. Yes, that's done. So I wish to give an exit and save, right? Save all the details in the router so that even if it is switched off, you can recover it from the startup memory, right? And I'm closing it. Let me come to the router 0. To router 0, 20, 40, and 30. 3 networks are connected. So you can just come here, go to the CLI and give router RIP, right? And network 192.168.20.0, okay? And 192.168.30.0 and 192.168.40.0. So the RIP is done, right? And let's just exit and save. Okay, it is saved. So one more router is left. So this is router 2. We'll do the configuration in the router 2. 40 and 50 are the networks connected to router 2, right? So we'll give router RIP, okay, network 192.168.40.0 and network 192.168.50.0, right? So that is also done. So let me exit and write it. So all the second step 2, configuring routing protocol is written. Okay. So we'll just check out if the routing table is available in all the router. So you could see that the routing table is available. That is C is directly connected network and R is the network which is learned through the RIP protocol. So similarly here also we'll check this router. The middle router, you could see that 3 directly connected networks and 2 networks are learned through the RIP. Okay, and again, the third router, the RIP has learned 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. All the networks has been learned, right? So now let us check the connectivity of this routers, okay, of this network. So we'll just take a packet, ping packet, and we'll ping from here to here, okay? And yeah, it is successful. Similarly, we'll check from here to here, all right? It is successful. Similarly, let me check from here to here. It is successful. Okay, so the network is completely reachable. Okay, now the step 3, right? We need to configure the ACL, right? We'll configure the ACL. We'll continue with the configuration of ACL. So the first ACL that we are going to apply here is a standard ACL, right? Okay, standard ACL, and that too we are going to go for numbered standard ACL, in which the number is between 1 to 99. So already we have discussed this in the theory part, but yet we are going to have few points. The standard numbered ACL, the range of numbers should be 1 to 99, and always it should be close to the destination, right? It has to be configured close to the destination. So what is the rule? ACL rule is rule 1. We are going to allow, right, only 192.168.30.2 to access 192.168.10.0 network, right? So if you explain it in a better way, you could understand that this is 10.0 network and here is 192.168.30.2. So we are going to say that only this device will be able to access any devices of this network, and it will implicitly deny for all the other computers, right? So where should we do this configuration? Closest to the destination. This is a destination, right? Destination is 192.168.10.0. This is a destination, and closest to the destination is fast Ethernet 0/0. So how do we do that? We'll check it out. En config t, right? So the command is access list, right? Permit 192, permit 192.168.30.2. So this is the and permit, there should be the number. Okay, so 1 to 99, any numbers we can use. So access list 1, permit 192.168.30.2, right? And rest all the devices are stopped from accessing this network. So now we have to go to the interface 0/0. We have gone to the interface 0/0 and we have to configure access group, right? 1, and it should be for the out traffic, right? So out means any traffic that is coming out of this side, okay, out of this router, right? So I just say out traffic, okay? And now we have configured it. We are saving it, and we'll say there is a command to check what all the access list configured. Show access list. So you see that it is a standard IP access list 1. And the rule says 10 permit 192.168.30.2. Now let us check whether that is feasible. So where am I able to? Yeah, it is successful. Now let me try from some other computer as well. You see that it is failed, right? And let's see whether I was able to access from here to here. No, it is not possible. But whether I was able to access from here to here, yes, that was successful, right? So now to this network, only 30.2 is permitted. That was the first standard ACL that we have written.